Hey guys, how's everything going? This is JSer. In this video, let's talk about React Gui. This is some not ready to be published library created by Facebook, or we should call Meta right now. It's something. It's already published into the npm registry, but with the version 0.2.1, it's not ready yet. In the post where it's discussed, it says is that it's just Facebook's employee sharing with their ideas, and it's still not ready yet. It's just in a limited beta test, I think. To begin with, let me remind you that in my last video, like 3 hours ago, about reusable behavior hooks through ref, it's actually related to this React GUI. I got the inspiration for when I read the document, so I just create a separate video explaining what is going on. So if you haven't watched this video, please search on my channel. It is one of my favorite episodes I've made, and it's super helpful, super interesting. Yeah, just spend a few minutes there. It's a bit long, but yeah, you can just fast forward and see the code snippet I attached into the comment below the video. And yeah, let's go back. So, what is React GUI? It's kind of like a component library, but it's very low level. As I put in my previous video, this React GUI allows us to attach even listeners like by behavior hooks. It's not like some components like I create a button component and the button support unclicked events. Rather, we need to use focus, use click, use hover stuff to attach those behaviors to any element we want. And of course, for the component itself, we have, I think there are more to be added. Currently, we have image, rich text area, text area, text input view. It reminds us about React Native for web, right? If you take a look at the design of this document, it's basically the same. Because they are from the same guy, the same person. Yeah, this is React GUI, this is React Native. It's basically the same. Let's take a look at the difference about this component. Okay, one is image. This React Native, where is component image? Yeah, this is the image. Let's see the props we have for this React GUI. Accessibility controls, ARIA controls. Oh, I want to make a series of videos talking about the ARIA. Okay, row, accessibility, row decoding, loading, eager, lazy. And here, you can see there's no React Native for web. There's no lazy loading, right? Yeah, this is what I talked in my previous video about React Native web. Okay, it's still not public yet. Just wait for it. So, what's the problem with React Native for web? One thing about it is that it's not rooted in web apps. It's rooted in the mobile native clients. But for web, we have our own evolutions about the new technologies, right? For Chrome, for browser, they have added more and more feature like this lazy load, built-in native load, and built-in like aspect ratio stuff. And it will be more and more powerful. But it's for if we focused on the API, focus on the interface from the mobile client, you will be lagged behind, right? We cannot use that new technology because it's only for web. So that's the problem of React Native for web. It is not super for web-based web application. It is from my perspective, it is only useful for porting your mobile apps, which is built with React Native, to make it supporting the web. So this React GUI works like a low-level component library for React Web for browser. So yeah, that sound looks familiar with us, for me at least. Like for this view, okay, this view at low level, it should be working as a dev, I would say. Yeah. There's not so much document, and this document is completely disaster because it's not well documented and some errors. Look at here. If this target is not now, it adds that listener, but it's now, you say remove listener, it's gonna break, right? Because in this else here, the target is now. You just call the function a method on now, it's thrown an error. Yeah. So this document is not trustworthy, but we can see some ideas behind it. It says, for the foundation of React design system, well, as we remember, why the behavior hook is so powerful is that we could just have this low-level hooks without worrying about the event handlers, about the style. We don't need to wrap the component, right? We don't need to wrap the component like layers of divs. We don't need that anymore. So it will be very flexible to use to create this React design system. And yeah, it says creating accessible with this abstraction as well from the React Native Web interactive, the behavior hooks, performant user interface, performant because as we talked before, those behavior hooks is through the native DOM events. It's not through the React synthetic events, so it's where will be very performant. Custom hook and a few other product. Yeah. Here, library integrates directly with the native DOM event system using the hooks, blah blah blah. Modern views and behaviors. Yeah, I like it. There is an example. Create a card. We use a press and use hover and merge to press. And we've already demonstrated how we can implement this merge ref, right? Behaviors allows you to composition without props collision. Wow, it's super cool. Use some events, reliable tested. Yep. And yeah, one thing about a style sheet, it's basically the same as React Native for web. I don't like it. Create a style sheet like this. I don't like it. The most problem is that it doesn't narrow down those style to component. It allows us to create any type of property to any element. Is that like raw CSS? I don't like it, but it's much better than reusing the CSS cascading stuff. Yeah, we don't use those like stuff really like sibling selector stuff. Yeah, it's good, and it's not that good. Okay, there are some hooks. I think I would like to cover some of them in a separate videos, but I've already demonstrated in a previous video about the behavior hook, so just if you haven't watched it, just watch it. Let's take a look at use hover. Oh, there, yeah. Use hover, ref, and then we could keep track of the state. Use hover. When the hover changed, we set this hover state, and then we return this ref and hovered, and then we can use this hover state attached to the ref. So this is a behavior, and this is the state derived from this behavior. So it's kind of like in a separate like instance or something. Yeah, attach it, and this derives the state, and then we could have different style based on the state. Looks very interesting, I would say. Definitely something. Yeah, definitely something we would not do at the beginning. Before we've seen how those reusable behavior hooks be so powerful. Yeah, and let's take another one. Use interact outside. Respond to interactions that occur outside the element. I think we've seen this kind of behavior a lot with the model, right? We click anywhere outside of the model, we close the model. So this is now we say, hey, we just use interaction outside. Ref component interact outside on the outside. We could close anything. Yeah. Looks interesting. Okay, I'll use press. Okay, what's this use resize? Respond to resize changes for element. Ha ha ha. Okay, an effective way is to change the layout of an element. Aha, resize observer. Oh, I don't know what resize observer is. I just create another video covering it. Interesting. Learn something new. Resize. Interesting. Cool. So, yeah. To summarize, React GUI is like a low-level component library focused on the web, and it is low level because it takes advantage of these behavior hooks to create a performant event handlers and without messing up with your DOM tree, without nesting about divs. Yeah, so it's super interesting. I like it. And one thing we need to notice is that it's called React GUI. It's not React GUI for web. So maybe in the future it will works like the a high level abstraction for all cross platform stuff. Maybe, right? I don't know. But yeah, let's see. Okay, use focus within. Interesting. Yeah, stay tuned for my next videos about these hooks and the resize observer. Hope it helps. See you next time. Bye bye.